Hey, don't move. Hands behind your back.
Hold on, what's this about? Just relax.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In Phoenix, Arizona, a routine eviction notice uncovers something nobody expected. When police break down an apartment door, they find evidence of a crime so methodical, so calculated, that detectives say they've never seen anything like it in their 20-year careers. And the man responsible? He's been hiding in plain sight for over a decade, living among us, trusted, respected, invisible. This is the story of Marcus Webb and the 8 women who disappeared without a trace. Welcome to World_Mirror, where the truth always surfaces. On March 14, 2024, property manager David Chen receives a strange request. He's been managing the Westgate Apartments in South Phoenix for 8 years. It's a mid-range complex, mixed-income tenants. Nothing extraordinary, but today something feels off. A tenant in Unit 412 calls. His name is Marcus Webb. He's 58 years old, works maintenance for the complex. Quiet guy, been there 12 years. Nobody really knows him. Nobody really tries to. "David, I need to talk to you about my lease," Marcus says over the phone. David agrees to meet him that afternoon. When David arrives at Unit 412, Marcus opens the door. He looks tired. His clothes are worn. But his apartment is immaculate, pristine, almost surgical in its cleanliness. Every surface spotless, books aligned on shelves, not a speck of dust anywhere. But there's a smell, faint, chemical, like bleach mixed with something else, something underneath it, something that doesn't quite fit. David mentions the rent. Marcus is 3 months behind, nearly $3,000. "I'll get you the money," Marcus says calmly. "Just give me 2 weeks. I have some work coming in, personal projects. 2 weeks, David. That's all I need." David has been doing this job long enough to know when someone's lying. But Marcus doesn't look like he's lying. He looks desperate, genuine. "All right," David says. 2 weeks, but that's it." 2 weeks pass, then 3. When David finally decides to move forward with eviction paperwork, he returns to Unit 412 with his master key. It's protocol. He needs to verify the apartment is still occupied, that Marcus hasn't abandoned it. He knocks. No answer. He uses his key. What he finds inside changes everything. When David calls the police, the first thing he tells them is about the smell. "It's chemical," he says. "Like, I don't know, industrial cleaning products. But underneath it, there's something else. Something I can't identify." Within 20 minutes, Phoenix Police Department responds. Detective Sarah Rodriguez is the first officer on scene. She's been with the department for 19 years. She's seen a lot. But when she steps into Unit 412, her instinct tells her something is very wrong. She calls for backup immediately. While waiting, police begin interviewing neighbors. What they hear is disturbing. "I heard him at weird hours," one neighbor says. 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Movement, dragging sounds, like he was moving heavy furniture, but constantly, every night, for months. "He worked maintenance, so I thought maybe it was just his schedule, but it was every night. And the sounds, they didn't sound normal." Another neighbor shares his story. "I'd see him taking out trash. So many black bags. We're talking multiple bags every single week. Huge industrial-sized trash bags, heavy ones. He'd struggle carrying them out to the dumpster. And he'd do it at night. Always at night. For someone living alone in a 1-bedroom apartment, that made no sense to me. I mentioned it to my wife. We thought maybe he was selling junk or something, clearing out old stuff. But it went on for years." A third neighbor, a woman from the adjacent unit, recalls something even more disturbing. "He'd have visitors sometimes. That was the strange part. Young women would show up. I'd see them coming in. But I never, and I mean never, saw them leave. Not once. They'd go in during the day, and I'd never see them again. I remember thinking, that's weird. Where do they go? Do they live there? Are they his girlfriends?" But something about it felt wrong. Nobody suspected what was actually happening inside that apartment. Marcus Webb had been a trusted member of the Westgate community for 12 years. He fixed broken locks. He helped elderly residents carry groceries. He was the friendly maintenance guy that everyone passed in the hallway. He was invisible. And that invisibility was exactly what he wanted. By 4:47 p.m. on March 14th, Detective Rodriguez has fully secured the apartment as a crime scene. Her first walkthrough is methodical. She documents everything: the pristine living room, the spotless kitchen, the chemical smell growing stronger as she moves deeper into the space. She opens the bedroom closet, hanging neatly in organized rows, zip-tie restraints, industrial-grade duct tape, rolls of plastic sheeting, heavy-duty garbage bags, a box containing rope, measuring tape, and surgical gloves, dozens of pairs still in their packaging. On the closet shelf, a locked metal box. Rodriguez calls for backup and a locksmith. When the box is opened, they find 3 driver's licenses. Different names: Jessica Chen, age 22, Maria Lopez, age 19, Sarah Hendricks, age 24. All women, all reported missing in 2021, 2022, and 2023, all with photographs showing they have been missing for years. In the kitchen, Rodriguez opens every cabinet, every drawer. Everything is organized, almost obsessively so. No food, no dishes used. The refrigerator is empty. But under the sink, there's a padlocked freezer, commercial-sized, heavy-duty lock. Get a warrant, Detective Rodriguez says to her partner, and get the medical examiner on standby now. 1 hour and 17 minutes later, with a warrant in hand and the padlock cut open, Detective Rodriguez prepares to open the freezer. She knows what she's about to find. Her experience tells her. The evidence, the restraints, the missing persons documents, it all points to one thing. But knowing and seeing are 2 different things. The freezer door opens. Inside, 4 bodies, carefully wrapped in plastic, meticulously stacked, preserved in the cold, arranged as if in a display. The medical examiner arrives. What he finds: the remains span 8 years. The oldest body shows signs of decomposition, suggesting a death in 2017. 2 more from 2019 and 2020. 1 from 2023. But Marcus had only admitted to taking the maintenance job at Westgate 12 years ago. Before that, before 2017, nobody knows where he was. Nobody knows what he was doing. The Phoenix Police Department launches the largest manhunt in the city's recent history. Marcus Webb is nowhere to be found. News alerts go out. His photograph is released. The public becomes aware, my man. Within 6 hours, Marcus Webb walks into Phoenix Police Department headquarters and turns himself in. "I did it," he says simply. "All of it. I'm ready to talk." In Interrogation Room 3, Marcus Webb sits across from Detective Sarah Rodriguez. He's calm, almost peaceful. His hands are folded on the table. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't seem nervous. He almost seems relieved. The recording begins. "We found the freezer, Marcus," Detective Rodriguez says. "I know," Marcus responds. "We found 4 bodies. I know. There's more you haven't found yet." "Where?" "Does it matter? They're gone. All of them. I needed them to understand something. But they wouldn't listen. They never listened." "How many, Marcus? How many women are we talking about?" 7, maybe 8. I lose count sometimes." "You see, Detective, after a while they all blend together. The faces, the names, the screaming. It becomes white noise. They become nothing." "Tell me about the first one," Rodriguez asks. Jessica Chen. "I watched her for 3 weeks before I approached her. At the bus stop on 7th Avenue. She was alone every day. No family picking her up, no friends meeting her. She was invisible. I made her visible." "How did you get her to the apartment?" "I told her I could help her, that I knew a place she could stay. No questions, no judgments. She was living in her car, addicted to methamphetamine. She didn't have many options. People like that, Detective, they're easy to convince. They're desperate, and desperation makes people stupid." "What did you do to her?" "I kept her. For 8 months, I had rules, strict rules. She had to follow them. When she didn't, when she tried to run, I had to keep her from running. Eventually, she stopped trying. She died, didn't she? Yes. In March of 2017, she was the first. I didn't know what to do with her. I panicked. I put her in the freezer because I didn't know what else to do. And then I realized I could keep doing this, that I could be more careful, more methodical, that I could perfect the process, the trash bags, the plastic sheeting. You were planning this. I was perfecting it. Each one was better than the last. I learned. I studied. I watched documentaries about serial killers, real ones, famous ones, and I learned from their mistakes, where they got sloppy, where they got caught. I made sure I wouldn't make those mistakes. You're talking about this like it's a hobby, Marcus. These were people. They were vessels, detective. Containers for my pain. My mother used to tell me I was worthless, that nobody would ever want me, that I'd die alone. And I believed her. Until I realized I could take control. I could take women who nobody was looking for, and I could make them matter. In my world, they mattered. They were everything. How many total, Marcus? Final count. How many women? 8. The bodies in the freezer are 4 of them. The others, I had different arrangements for them. What arrangements? Desert, abandoned mining sites, landfills, anywhere nobody would think to look. And you remember their names? All of them. Jessica, Maria, Sarah, Rachel, Christine, Emma, Lisa, and Catherine. I remember all of them. Every single detail about how they came to me, how I kept them, how I ended them. I could draw you a map of everything. I could show you where every single one of them is. Over the next 16 hours, Marcus Webb provides investigators with detailed confessions for all 8 murders. He gives them locations. He gives them methods. He explains his process with disturbing clarity and zero remorse. He draws maps of desert burial sites. He provides dates and methods of death. He explains how he selected his victims, always vulnerable women, homeless, addicted, foster care system, women without families looking for them, women society had forgotten. But there's something else, something even darker. As investigators continue searching Marcus's apartment and cross-referencing records, they make a chilling discovery. Marcus wasn't working alone. His younger sister, Patricia Webb, age 54, had been actively helping him for at least 5 years. Documents are found, text messages, financial records. Patricia had been posing as a social worker, a counselor for vulnerable youth. She'd advertise on community boards, on Craigslist, offering free housing to homeless women. She'd build their trust, and then she'd send them to Marcus. In emails found on Marcus's laptop, Patricia writes, "I have someone for you, 19 years old, run away from a group home in Tucson, no family contact, no one will look for her, she's perfect." Another email, "I found another one. She's exactly what you're looking for." Patricia didn't just know, she was actively recruiting victims. Phoenix Police Department immediately launches a manhunt for Patricia Webb. They arrive at her home in Tempe, Arizona. The house is empty. She's gone, vanished. Her vehicle is missing. Her bank accounts are being drained. Her cell phone is dark. Patricia Webb is still missing. She remains on the FBI's most wanted list, suspected of being an accomplice in at least 5 murders, possibly more. Her whereabouts are unknown. She could be anywhere. Marcus Webb is currently serving 8 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole at the Arizona State Prison in Yuma. He has never shown remorse. In prison interviews, he's expressed regret only that he was caught. Patricia Webb remains at large. The FBI believes she may be responsible for additional murders in California, Nevada, and Utah. Cold cases from the past 15 years are being reviewed. Families of the victims are slowly getting answers to questions that haunted them for years. Where did their daughters go? What happened to them? Now they know, and knowing is both closure and eternal pain. If you have any information about Patricia Webb, contact the Phoenix Police Department or the FBI tip line. Your information could save lives. This is World_Mirror. We reflect the stories hidden in plain sight, the crimes that matter, the justice that needs to be served. Subscribe to World_Mirror for daily crime investigations, missing persons updates, and the cases mainstream media overlooks. Turn on notifications so you never miss a story, because the truth always surfaces. We'll see you next time.